Hello everyone. In the last topic, before we wrote our tests, we looked at the topic direct proportion. This week we are starting a new topic. It is called indirect proportion. Now this is how we are going to learn this. I'm going to give you an example of some kind of problems for which we use indirect proportion. And may I encourage you to go back to the video lessons concerning direct proportion in case you've forgotten what the topic is about. But for today, we are learning indirect proportion. Now think about this. Suppose a farmer has chicken feed which he can use to feed 300 chickens. So let me write 300 here, 300 chickens. And let's say this feed for 300 chickens, if the chickens are 300, this feed will finish in 20 days. Now, suppose we increase the number of chickens by adding 100 more chickens. How many days will it take for the feed to finish? So let me write 400 here. So suppose we have 400 chickens. We want to find out how many days will it take for the feed to finish. First, may I ask you a question? If you have 300 chickens and it takes them 20 days to finish the food you have bought for them, if the chickens increase, what will happen to the number of days here? Are they going to increase also, or they will reduce? It is simple. If you have fewer chickens, it will take more days before the food finishes. So if you increase the chickens, it means the food will finish in a fewer number of days. So now here we want to know how many days less will it take for the feed to finish. So how do we solve such a problem? Here is how you do it. We want to find x. So you're going to take this 400 and multiply it with x. So you say 400 times x, which becomes 400x equals, then you do 300 times 20. So if you do your calculation, that should give you 6,000. You can confirm this by trying to calculate this on a paper where you are, but I am confident you'll get these values I'm getting. 300 times 20. The trick here you can use to quickly calculate such a value, you just do 3 times 2, 6. Then you count the number of zeros, 1, 2, 3. So this is 6, 1, 2, 3. So this is 6,000. So we want to find the value of x. So remember, on one side of the equation, if there is an x or a letter which you don't know, you want to find what is the value for that. You divide the number of that variable, the number which is with that variable, you divide it on both sides. So this side I'm going to divide it by 400 so that we will be able to cancel it out. This other side as well, we're going to draw a line and write 400. So why are we using 400? We want to get rid of this 400. Okay, so 400 into 400 is 1, so we are remaining with only x here. So x now is 6,000 over 400. So if here there are 2 zeros, I can remove these, and I can also remove these so that it now becomes 60 over 4. So how many times does 4 go into 60? Let me give you a moment. Can you try to calculate that? Well, the answer is 15. So what this means is, if you have 400 chickens, it's going to take 15 days for the feed to finish. Okay, so in indirect proportion, what happens is you will have two quantities, let's call them A and B, and when A increases, B decreases. Okay, so here, these we can call them our A values. So if you increase the number of chickens, what you get here on the side of days decreases. That is what we mean by indirect proportion. When you increase one thing, the other one reduces. So if we increase the chickens, the days reduces. Okay, so you now need to look at the questions that have been posted and see if you're able to answer them correctly. All the best.